Hi, it's Ed. Welcome back. Episode 3, Startup Stories. And this is the My Benefits journey. It's just kind of fun. I just laugh because, we developing this series because so many people are interested in startups and how it really works and kind of give you an inside look. And so as these series have been recorded, we're finessing a little bit with the title. So it making me laugh. But anyways, Priyum, welcome back to My Benefits journey.
Thank you, Ed.
Hey, in the first episode, we talked about the creation, the start of myBenefits, and a little bit of the pivot and the pivot into the episode 2, and talking about how the product got further developed and refined, and then a pilot was done, a very successful pilot in the US. And then we alluded to the fact that you had a trip coming up to India. And I think since that time, you've actually made 2 trips to India. So I want to focus this episode a little bit on more of the global vision. And what can you tell us? I know you just came back. What can you tell us about your trips to India?
Thank you, Ed. myBenefits.ai Discharge Plus is a platform for all. When I say for all, it's global platform. Our focus is US, but when we look at a platform like this, it's all about data. We want to accumulate data across the world by different types of care, cardiology, oncology, radiology, ENT surgeries, you name it. And the care type is mostly it's common across the world. So when we looked at hospitals in Mexico City, Ecuador, France, right, UK, and India, and US, everybody has a discharge process of its own. How do you bring a standardized discharge process that can bring the standard of care across the globe and provide a better care to the patient, but also providing that information back to the hospital is a need for all. And when we talk to hospitals across the world, especially India, they were absolutely amazed, and we got an amazing response, overwhelming response from many hospitals where we are signing up contracts where we are not able to even comprehend on how we're going to onboard so many at one time. So we are excited. Obviously, there are some challenges because every country has its own challenges and regulations, but we are overcoming those challenges and we are moving forward to onboarding those hospitals in India. Last point I'd call out is when we look at India, as you know, India is the second largest or maybe the largest population in the world. The volume is enormous from the smallest hospitals to the biggest ones, and we are in discussions with the biggest ones, and that volume is nowhere in the world we can get that kind of volume.
Yeah, that's very exciting. From your start in around 2018 to where you are today with, again, the pivot and the very recent pilot success, the copyright, all the engineering, which we'll talk about in a different episode, and then going global. And yeah, it sounds like it was a very, very satisfying trip to India, actual contracts that you've come back with, which is pretty amazing. And I love the fact that it's going to bring scale, right? Because you're always want to do things at scale so that you can truly test things and provide a lot of value. So that's super exciting. So what's next? So when we head into episode 4, I definitely want to talk about engineering. I know a lot of people have questions about engineering, but also what should we be looking out for? Like what's next? What's coming up on
Yeah.
the horizon?
So I would like to highlight one more thing on the India story. India is hungry for technology. India is hungry for digitization. India is hungry for healthcare. India is hungry for everything. The growing economy is at a faster pace that we have never imagined. The scale that is going faster is just outstandingly amazing. So with that, I would say that the opportunities that we have in India is enormous, and we are looking that very seriously to launch this platform to onboard millions of people on this platform. That's the vision we have, and then we would take this data back to the global and US to make it happen. The next part is that, hey, how do we scale this platform? We have 1,000 patients coming in. How do we make it to 1 million? How do we make it to a 10 million? And those are the things that we are looking at. We are ready for engineering. We are ready to roll up our sleeves to make this platform very scalable.
Yeah, and we'll cover it in the next episode, but the engineering team is amazing. I mean, given your background, where you came from, you brought some of those people with you. So I think people will be super impressed. There's no doubt that you'll scale quite well, even with millions of patients. So it's kind of exciting. So for those of you following along, I hope you're as excited as I am, and you can understand why I'm part of myBenefits, because it was a great vision to begin with, and then you combine that vision with talent and expertise, and you get those pilots going, and you show the value in real terms, and it just explodes from there. So for those following along, you're about to witness the explosion of just what's going to happen with myBenefits AI. And again, it's as Priyum, as much as I care about you and your family and love the company, I'm more excited about what it's going to actually do for the patients and the patient experience. It's because you have a personal story. We didn't get into it, but you have a personal story. I have a personal story. I think everyone has a personal story. That gap in care that's been there for a long time, it has the ability now to be shrunk quite completely through this technology. That's what really makes me happy. So look forward to talking about it more and from an engineering perspective in episode 4. Thanks again, Priyum, for opening up and sharing your journey.
Thank you, Ed, and we would love to have you in India as in one of the meetings that we are having with some of the biggest hospitals in the country.
Yeah. Well, I think my India background. I think people who are watching can see my India background. It is definitely my second home. So thanks again, and thanks everyone for watching, and we'll catch you on episode 4.